Hey Yogi, welcome to class. If you're new here, I'm Rhi. This is Drake, who's obviously tired. And if you are returning, welcome back. It is sick to have you back with us on YouTube. This is going to be a super mellow flow, kind of shoulder focused, kind of everything really. But we're going to take it super chill. It's going to hopefully just open up some new space just so you can feel like you can sit a little taller and breathe a little easier. That would be my aim for it. What do you think? So we do have a lot of props for this class, and I think pretty much all of them can be switched out for other things. So I do have a blanket, 2 blocks, cork blocks if you've got them, or just something solid, and a strap. We're not going to use the strap a lot, so towel, robe, thing, belt, whatever, and then a nice blanket. And again, this is just going to be for general padding under the knees, so any blanket would do, and also not essential. You could do the whole class without anything, but if you don't have any blocks, just try and grab something that you could lie back on. Okay, so grab all of your things, maybe hit pause, and then meet me at the back of your mat, lying down. I'm just going to move everything out of the way slightly. And I want you to take the block onto its kind of second highest height and pop it at the back of the mat. And then I want you to come down and lie on the block. And I want the block to be quite high up the back. So kind of in this region. So say your shoulder blades are this big, try and get the block into the middle of the shoulder blades. So we're not going for like where a woman would have a sports bra or like middle of a man's back. We are going for a little bit higher. So it might take a bit of fidgeting to find the good spot and get there. But you'll know when you're on it because your shoulder blades will be really on it. And then you can take the arms and clasp hold of the hands. Catch the hands behind the head and just allow the head to fall back with the support of the hands. Now, if the head doesn't go all the way back because that feels like it's too much, 2 things. Either just hold the head, which is a bit of work, or grab another block, put your head on it, or drop the height of the block down 1. So take it to its lowest height. So find your spot here. And of course, if your head reaches the mat and you just want to let the hands fall by your side in sort of a bit more, I guess, of a traditional opening, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but yeah, if you want to just start with your arms out to the sides, they can be like up and overhead, maybe opposite hand, opposite elbow, just whatever feels nice here. We're just trying to open up through the thoracic, through your chest area. If you want to take the feet to as wide as the mat and then to the outside of the mat and then let the knees knock in, that's also a great option. So seek depth here, as in like we are opening up quite a bit, but let's try and find some softness within that. Let's not kind of be in a place where we can no longer breathe really freely, and where it feels too much, because then we've kind of lost the purpose of this mellow flow. Another 5 breaths here, I would say. So, through the nose is fine, just nice deep inhales. And just notice how the breath maybe feels a bit different while you've got the block there. Are you finding you're just breathing into the upper chest region? If so, try and just send your next breath right down into the seat, right into the hips. See if you can challenge it, even though we've got this extended spine. Nice. One more inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale. Beautiful. Really gently come up. So, don't flail the head around. Just find your way all the way up and remove the block, but take it like with you. I want it handy. And then roll down onto your back. And then this time, lift your hips, pop the block underneath your sacrum. And I say this all the time, but you'll know if it's in the right place because you can lift your feet off without feeling unstable. So have a play with that. And then I just want you to allow the feet to go to the opposite corners at the top of your mat. And again, anything you want to do with the arms here is totally cool with me. You just want to feel a little bit of extension through the hips and just feel like they're kind of getting a bit longer, maybe the front of the hips, stretching through the low belly, just allowing the legs to be pretty heavy here. Maybe the feet are going to fall out to the sides, like the opposite edge of the mat. If this is too intense, of course, drop the block down. Maybe put a blanket or a pillow there, if this height just doesn't feel good for you. We want that opening, but without pressure or stress. Nice. And then from here, you're going to drive your right knee in, catch hold of it with the hands and just pull it in. So finding a little bit of compression here, bring in the knee as close to your right collarbone as it'll go. And then just lift the left foot, flex the left toes and just let it hover here. I actually quite like to just let it swing, maybe let it bounce, just let it be active. And the easiest way to do that is really just to keep flexing through the left toes, so pulling them back towards the shin. Nice. Bend the left knee, drop the left foot. Release the right knee, drop the right foot. And then we're just going to do some pulsing bridges here. So we're going to lift off the block and lower. Lift, squeeze your glutes and lower, lift. Ooh, watch if your block starts to travel and lower, lift. And let's hold this one. See if you can really drive the heels backwards as you send those knees forward. Have a poke of your butt, check that your glutes are working, your hamstrings are working. Be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release on 1. Make sure you've got the right part of your very, very low back to the mat. And then take the legs out wide again or long. And then left knee comes in. We'll just do the same on the left side. So initially, you're just driving the left knee in towards you. And then if you want to, you're going to flex the right toes, pull the right heel off the mat. And you can bounce here. There's nothing to say you need to be still. But keep pulling that left knee in. Pull, pull, pull. Keep flexing the right toes. Hoping just to find a little bit of a stretch, maybe not a lot, through the right hip flexor and just finding that compression in the left hip flexor. So kind of they're both doing the opposite to each other. And then bend that right knee. Plant the right foot, left foot, and then lift off the block and lower, taking those pulsing bridges again. Really squeeze those glutes as you lift. Allow them to take you higher and feel like they're doing some work. And then hold at the top here. We'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower back onto the block on 1, and then remove the block. Nice. Drive the knees into the chest, give them a little squeeze, maybe a rock side to side. And then we're going to rock and roll. So just rocking up and down the spine. Feet can go really overhead or they don't have to. I just want you to find a little bit of freedom here after a little bit of concentration. And then come all the way up and swing the legs around so that we can find a seat on the shins. And for this one, it might be nice actually to just take your blanket and pop the blanket between the backs of the calves and the backs of the legs. And then grab your strap And then from here, open your strap out. It doesn't need to be like really narrow. So, find a good width. What I want is for you to be able to take the arms up and over without this happening, that break in the energy through the elbow. So really want the arm straight. Same with the wrist. So often the wrist will start to turn and we'll break it. I want you to try, not literally break it, obviously, but that line will get broken because we'll bend in or out. So I want you to try and keep pulling the strap apart so you keep a nice flex, straight line. So pull the strap apart, try and draw the belly button in a little bit, and then we're just going to find some up and overs, flossing through the shoulders. And depending on, what you've been doing, this might feel like a lot. If it's too much and you feel like you're almost bending the arms, then take the strap a little bit wider. We're not looking here for compromising the position. I'd rather you have the arms wider, but you feel like you can go up and over nicely than feeling that compromise. Nice. Next time you come up and overhead, take the strap back to the point where you feel a really good stretch. So for me, it's not a lot. I feel I'm quite tight through the pecs. So feel where that stretch is, and we're just going to hold. Keep pulling the strap apart. This is tough. It's kind of like not part of the gig with Mellow Flow, but keep pulling it apart. We're here just for 5, 4, 3, 2. Deep inhale on 1. As you exhale, slowly move all the way down with the strap. Keep pulling the strap apart, find the bottom, and then come all the way up and over. Nice. Whew. Give the arms a shake. Release the strap there for a moment. Take that off to the side. And then from here, have one block towards the top of the mat. And actually, I'm going to just use the blanket here because we're going to be on the knees a little bit. So feel free to take a blanket, open it up, and just find like midway up the mat so that whenever you're dropping the knees or, maybe wherever your knees would land if you were in like a low lunge, make sure that the mat is there. The blanket is there. And then come so that your knees are on the blanket and also that your hips stay above your knees so they don't go backwards like child's pose. We're going to find a puppy pose here. So take the block out in front of you. You can have it on any height. You can also have no block, that's fine. And just pop the hands on the block and then just allow the chest to fall. Don't worry about seeking the mat with the head or the chest. Of course, if you have that range, then you can explore it. But I just want you to feel like the work here is keeping the shoulders active. And if you are on the block, I want you to make karate hands. So like as if you're chopping through the block, and put the pinky side on so that the thumbs are pointing up. Nice. Feel this one out. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Tune into your breath here. This can feel like a lot. Nice. Gently come up, come off the block. Bring the hands back under you. And then if you've got 2 blocks, pop the blocks underneath your hands, top of the mat. And we're just going to move here, wiggling through the spine, coming into a tabletop, circling over the wrists with the shoulders, getting into the hands a little bit. And feel free to just move here, come away from that structure of the puppy, maybe the intensity of the puppy, and just move. Flowing, feeling it out, feeling into your body. Nice. From here, we'll find some cat-cows. So as you inhale, that belly will drop. You'll really push into the mat or the blocks, lift the gaze. As you exhale, cat, sorry. Inhale, through to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, through to cow. And exhale. Cat pose. Back to neutral, tuck the toes, lift the hips, find down dog. This might feel really nice if you have your hands under the blocks. If you get the heels to the mat with the hands under the blocks, just allow yourself to really push into the hands, into the feet. From here, the right leg will lift, 3-leg dog. And then as you exhale, the right foot's going to go to the outside of that right hand or the block. Drop that back knee down. As you inhale, open up. Take a twist here. Feel like you could really drop that left hip down. Nice. Bring the hands back to the blocks and then straighten through that right leg, coming into a half split Ardha Hanumanasana. And if you want more, you're going to take the hands over to the right side and maybe even just allow yourself to floss by kind of flapping the right foot from left to right and just really getting into the outer edge of that right leg there. Nice. Bend the right knee, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog gently. We'll gently vinyasa from here. So roll through, drop your knees, sit your butt back towards your heels, lower your forearms. They're going to hover if you're on blocks. And then as you inhale, pull yourself through into an upward facing dog. Feel free to leave the knees on the mat. Feel free to bend the elbows, but open up through the chest here. And then as you exhale, down dog. Nice. Left leg will go up and then left foot will journey to the outside of the left hand. Drop the right knee down. As you inhale, open up and take a twisted lizard here. Really send the right hip down. Nice. Inhale, left hand back to the block. Work to straighten into that half split on the left leg. Stay here. This might be enough. It might also feel nice to have the hands on blocks. If you want a bit more, walk the hands to the outside of the left foot. I'm just going to move my ankle because I don't like it there. And then just, again, you could stay still or you could I like to just move that leg in the socket, just allowing it to get a bit of lubrication in the joint. Really flex the toes back. And then slowly, hands back to the blocks or the mat. Back to down dog. Take an inhale. Drop the knees as you exhale. Lift the chest. Push your butt back towards your heels. Elbows will lower a little. And then as you inhale, drag yourself through and wave into an up dog. And you'll notice I'm keeping a soft bend here through the elbows. And then exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Right leg will go up and the right foot will journey to the outside of that right hand. Drop the back knee. This time, as you inhale, we're going to try and catch for that left foot, opening up, revolved lizard lunge. Release the foot, and as you exhale, right forearm taps that right block or the mat. Inhale, catch the foot again, open up, take the twist. Exhale, release, right forearm to right block. Inhale to open, take the twist, and exhale. Right forearm to the block. Bring the left forearm onto the mat or the block as well. If you want more, you can lift the back knee here, but I'm not going to. I'm quite enjoying it being a bit more passive today. And then take your hands to the blocks. Tuck the back toes. Work to lift the hips and straighten through both legs. Finding a modified pyramid pose here. And same again, if you want to walk the hands to the outside of the right leg, you're just going to get into a different part of the leg there. Nice. From here, rebend the right knee, step that right foot back to down dog. As you inhale, roll and drop your knees to the mat. Push back towards heels, drop forearms, and then drag yourself through into that upward facing dog. Keep pulling the chest through. And then push back. Downward facing dog, left leg will go up. And then left foot outside of left hand, right knee will drop. Inhale, open it up. This time you'll catch for that right foot if it's there, or you're just working to be there. And then as you exhale, left forearm seeks the left block. And we'll do that a couple more times. So open, feel the stretch here as you twist to the left. And then exhale, feel that left hip dig in. Inhale, open. Find that revolved lizard, really stretch through your left shoulder, really push into your right hand. And then let that left forearm seek the block, right forearm seek the block, or the mat, of course. Back knee is lifted or lowered. It's your call. Nice, and then pop your hands back under the block, tuck the back toes under, lift the hips, work to find this modified pyramid pose. This is a great place to be, or if you want a little bit of a different sensation, you're going to walk the hands around to the outer edge of that left foot, pulling the left thigh bone back, and just feeling the stretch. Gently bring the hands back to the blocks as you bend the left knee and step left foot back to meet right. As you inhale, just roll gently forward as the knees bend. You exhale. Inhale, sit back towards the heels a little, bend the elbows and pull your way into your upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog. Nice. From here, drop your knees to the blanket. Sit back to the shins. We're going to come down into a hero's pose here. So I want you to take the feet apart, maybe sitting on the blanket, because that's nice for the ankles, and pop your butt in between the heels. Straight away, if you do this and your knees have any discomfort, I want you to come out of it and sit in a toes pose. So a toe stand, just to give you a different bit to work, basically. If when you come here, you feel okay, then you could start to come back, maybe onto your forearms. Maybe you can come all the way down. Maybe all the way down is kind of like not optimal for you. So try it. And then maybe put a block underneath the scapula like we did at the beginning, if that is going to feel better. Coming into a version of hero's pose here. So whether that's seated, toe stand, reclined, all of the options are available to you. I like to take my arms up and overhead in reclined hero's pose, but you can have them wherever you would like. Five breaths here. When you get to the last cycle of that 5th breath, gently make your way up and out of it. Take your time, especially if you went all the way to the mat. It's a really big posture. And then come just to sit on to the heels here. So untuck the toes if you were in that toe stand. Sit up nice and tall. Nice. And then as you inhale, we're going to rise up. I like to tuck the toes for this. We're just going to move into a camel pose. So you can either have the hands to the chest, lifting up and back, or you can come into your full Ustrasana, catching for the ankles, sending the hips nice and forward, drawing the shoulder blades together. And you can either lift the gaze up or let the head go, but that's really your call. So take what feels right for you here. Engage through your glutes. Keep pressing your hips forward. And then gently chin to chest and release. Come back into that puppy stretch here. So maybe it's with a block. Maybe it's not this time. Maybe you're like, no, I'm not looking for that level of intensity. And again, take the hands nice and far forward, karate chop them if they're on the block, and find your puppy pose. And make sure that you do take the hands away from you so that you're not, so that you're stacking, I should say, the knees underneath the hips. Keep pressing into the pinky fingers if they're on the blocks or the mat. And then gently come away from it, sit back to the heels, come into Balasana, child's pose. Maybe you want to let the arms go behind you because they've had that lovely stretch in the puppy pose. Nice. Gently come out of the child's pose, and then we'll set up for Savasana. I'm going to take my blanket, roll it in half. No, the other way. Roll it in half, kind of like the wide way, and then I'm just going to make like a little sausage, I guess, out of it. And I'm just going to pop that along the length of my mat, coming down onto my butt. And I'm just going to allow this to go under my spine as I lie back. And then I'm going to take the feet. Actually, I'm going to use the blocks for this. So if you've got them, you can take the feet, soles of the feet together. You could pop the blocks under the thighs for a bit of support there. And relax. Settle in. Do all the fidgets that you need to do so that this can feel relaxing to you. Maybe you want to take the arms wide or overhead or just down by your side. Anything that is calling you here. Make your way into your Savasana. Allow yourself to just drift away in the knowledge that you have shown kindness to your body. You've been gentle with it. You've allowed it to move with intention. You've allowed it to find some space. And just for a short amount of time today, you made your body your top priority. You gave it some nourishment. So allow yourself to find that Savasana that kind of ticks the boxes of like, yeah, I looked after me today. I did something for me today. I looked after my body today. I would say try and be here for at least 30 breaths. 20 if 30 is too much time, but try and be here for as long as you can. Try and give it a good few minutes so that you can really just surrender to the practice, surrender to Savasana. Let it do its magic. As always, I won't stay with you for that whole time. But as always, it's a real privilege to share your practice with you today. And thank you for allowing me to guide you. I hope to see you back on the mat soon, Yogi. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.